Good day everyone and welcome back to our tutorial section. Hope all are doing well. So today I will be explaining about how students should complete their competency assessment form. Before going to the process of completing competency assessment form, I would like to mention that students can find this document, competency assessment form document, along with two other important documents from the Moodle, from the Co-op education portal. Once you go to Moodle, you can go to Co-op education portal section and you can find the needed documents there and download them from Moodle. Now let's go and see how competency assessment form should be completed. In the beginning, the form asks for the name of the student, name of the company, co-period, name of supervisor. So name of the student, in my case, for example, I have written my name, Sumaynosha Karbekova, and then it will ask for the name of organization that students are working for. So in my case, for example, I am right now interning with University of Central Asia. So I have written my organization name as University of Central Asia. And next, the form asks for co-period. So when students started their internship and when their internship will finish. So in my case, for example, I have written the co experience. My internship starts June 1st, 2021, and it will finish August 31st, 2021. So you will write your start and finish date of your internship. Next, it will ask for a name of the supervisor. So who is that line manager supervisor who is guiding you throughout your internship experience? For example, I have written my supervisor, Elvira Sagantakise, who is guiding and supervising me throughout my internship with University of Central Asia. Next, after completing the first part of competency assessment form, there is second part which asks for the rating of competencies. Before going to the rating and writing the name of competencies, students should understand what does competency mean. So competency is a package of related knowledge and skills that students have. They might have improved them before in their previous work, previous experience, or they're improving it and developing it currently, right now, in their current internship positions, or they're aiming or objecting to improve it in their future work experiences. So these are basically the skills or related knowledge that students have or want to have in the future. So there is a PDF document which includes 10 core competencies. I think every student should have this list, a PDF document with all those 10 core competencies. But if you don't have it, I will attach the link under this video and you can go to that link and find this PDF document with 10 core competencies. So how it will help you, you can choose the name of competencies for your competency assessment form from here. It basically lists 10 core competencies, 10 important competencies, and it explains every competency and it tells where and how students should use this particular competency. Going back to our competency assessment form, once you already understood what is competency and you choose your competency name. For example, in this case, I might choose my competency name communication, right? So you will choose communication. So once you will choose your competency name, further you should rate those competencies. Before going and rating your competency, students should understand the levels of rating. So what does exemplary mean, for example, or what is accomplished, or what is no achievement level in this system of rating, right? So now let's go and see one by one what those levels of rating mean. The exemplary level of rating means that you have highly skilled, highly developed that competency. For example, if you will choose to rate your communication skills as an exemplary, it means that you have already had all those experiences, all those needed opportunities to improve and develop your communication skills in all areas. So you have highly skilled in this competency and you have tried and applied this competency in all areas and you know very well and very sure of using this competency in all areas. So in that case, you might choose or rate your competency as an exemplary. But if you think that you have already developed your competency, but you still need further development, further improvements in that particular competency. So it means that you have already applied that particular competency in one area, but you want further experiences, further opportunities, and other different areas to apply and to use this particular competency. In that case, you might rate your competency as an accomplished. And next, we have developing level of rating. So developing, I think it is even clear from its naming, which it says developing, right? So if your competency, if your skill in that competency is in process of developing, you are just having experiences, you are just having opportunities where you can use and apply that particular competency. So you are in process of developing and applying using that competency skill, then you might choose developing as a level of rating for that particular competency. And next, we have beginning. So beginning as a level of rating, it means that you have that competency and you just started to apply, you just started to experience that particular competency in a workplace or in your internship places. So it means that you are having a very first level of your experience in your competency skill. So if you are having a competency skill rated as beginning, it means that you are just starting to experience and apply that competency form in your experiences. And next, we have no achievement. So, no achievement also, I think it's clear from its naming, which means that you already have a theoretical knowledge about that particular competency, but you don't have any practical experience related to that competency. So it means that you need an experience opportunity to apply and practice that competency skill. So this is a level of no achievement. And what does it mean to rate your competency as no achievement level? So I hope this level of rating is clear. And once you already understood this level of rating and you rated your competency, first competency name, then you can go ahead and write your second competency name. You can just copy and paste the same table, and then you can write your second competency, which will be, for example, in my case, I will write my second competency name not as communication, but as personal management, right? Personal management. So like this, you can write more than three, four, as many as you want. You can include your competency name and then rate them. According to the requirements of Co-op, this document, there should be minimum of three, four competency names with their rating. But if you feel that you have to include more, please go ahead and include more competency name and rate them. For example, in my communication, I might rate it as developing. Maybe I'm in process of developing it. And then in personal management, I might choose accomplished, which means that I already have experienced this competency skill in one area and I have reached my goals in that area, but I want to improve it further. So like this, you will complete your competency name with your rating levels. Once you completed your competency name with rating levels, there is the last part, the third part. There is a table that asks for several questions so that students should answer those questions. So as you see, this table, it is not only for students, but it also has a section for supervisors, that supervisors or line managers of yours, of students, should complete this part. Also, you can notice that this table, it is divided into three sections. So part one, part two, and part three. So what does those sections mean? So this document, it should be completed in the beginning of your internship, which is part one, and then at the middle of your internship, which is part two, and then at the end of your internship, which is part three. So let's see how students should complete this last part of competency assessment form. So in part one, in the beginning of your internship, when you complete this assessment form, it will ask this question: where and how have your experiences demonstrated competency? So basically, what does this question mean? So it means that bring examples of your experiences where you have demonstrated your competency skills. So basically, the competency skills that you will name here, you will bring experiences examples. You will bring practical examples where you demonstrated that particular competency skill. For example, here, in case of communications, a competency that I have chosen here, I have written that I conducted interviews with 20 participants of the training. I needed to improve and demonstrate good communication skills. So here I am bringing an experience example, a practical example that shows how and where I demonstrated, I applied my communication skills. So like this, you will bring experience examples, you will bring practical examples which shows where you demonstrated, where you applied and used your competency skills. Okay, the second part, which will be complete in the middle of your internship, it asks the students for identifying competency gaps. So it says what competency gaps you identified during your experiences. By this time, when students already will work till the middle, the half core period of their internship experiences, they should be able to identify, to see and observe what are those competency gaps that exist in their internship experiences. They should list those competencies and skills that they think they needed but they didn't have during working period, during that internship experience. For example, in this case, I have written about the competency gaps which I noticed, I observed during my internship, right? For example, I have written during my internship, I realized that I need to improve my research skills. I had difficulties in creating questionnaires. So once I had my interview conducted, I have demonstrated my communication skills, but I have observed, I have identified a competency gap, which is research skills, right? Because of lacking of this skill, research skills, I had difficulties with creating questionnaires. So this is one of my one of my identifications that there is a research skills gap. So this is a competency gap. So like this, students will list the competency gaps that they will identify, observe till the middle of their internship. And then the last part, which is part three, which will be completed at the end of students' internships. Here, the question asks students, how will you address these gaps in the future? So basically, in this section, in this part, students will write their recommendations, their advices, their opinions, their way of thinking of addressing these competency gaps that they will list in the previous in part two. So how and solutions for improving those gaps in the future. For example, I have written here, I learned about creating questionnaires and surveys and looked at different others questionnaire examples to address this gap. So what I'm recommending that in my difficulties with creating questionnaire, I have looked at previous created questionnaires. So I'm recommending if students have this kind of difficulties, gaps in their internship place, they should ask for help from those who already have worked in this sphere, or they should look at the similar documents and assignments that were previously done. So this is my recommendation for the competency gap that I am writing here, right, in the part two. So, like this, students should bring recommendations, their advices, and their way approach of addressing and improving those gaps in the future. Once you already will finish your competency assessment form and you will complete all of it, students should send their competency assessment form to their line managers, to their supervisors, and ask your supervisors to complete this part of this table, which is related to them, and then send it back to you. Once students will get fully completed this competency assessment form, then they should send it to co-op coordinators. With that, we are finishing here. I hope that this tutorial will be helpful for students in the future when they will complete their competency assessment form. And I hope that this is clear how should students complete their competency assessment form. If there are any other further questions, please feel free to approach to contact any of team members. Thank you very much again. Take care and stay safe.